Hello. Okay, just thought I'd do a review of our home-built camper van from, I think we got it in August of 2021 and it's now April 2025. So just to see how it held up, the paint job I did here on the driveway with a roller, it's just industrial enamel, Dulux industrial enamel from Bunnings, and what the van looks like now. Haven't done a huge mileage in it, done about 15,000 kilometres in it I think. We did use it as a daily driver for a little bit, but we'll do a bit of a walk around, quite a few cobwebs and stuff. Still got the original halogen spotlights on it, and you can just see under there the light bar that I fitted, which I took off one of my other cars. The paint here is starting to peel off a bit on the bonnet, and I don't know if you can see that up there. That's just mainly dirt and stuff I think. You can see when I painted it I didn't mask off stuff very well, and I didn't strip really anything off it, so it's not the best. I'll just put this up here so you can see the roof there with the skylight. Hopefully you can see under the solar panel there, which is probably quite dirty. And then up here, and you can see around that skylight I had a bit of rust, and I painted it a few months ago just with some Hammerlite paint I had, which was quite a dark colour but didn't really matter because it's up on the roof. Again, some paint peeling. This is where I did the welding repair. I didn't put, there was a plastic piece or a rubber piece that used to go in along here. I left that out because that's where a lot of rust, because dirt and grime had collected and couldn't escape, so I left that out so that it could drain. The plastic's faded again. We went over it with I think it was linseed oil that we happened to have at the time. I've upgraded the tyres, tiny bit bigger, 235/75 R15, and they're a sort of a fairly chunky all-terrain type tread. Gives the van a tiny bit more ground clearance, gears it up a bit, so the speedo actually now is right on perfect. Before it was about 10 k's out. Again, we have some peeling of the paint, but considering it's nearly 4 years, I suppose, 3.5, 4 years since I did this paint job, I think it's held up reasonably well. And inside, this is what it looks like at the moment. The electrical system is pretty much the same. You can see down there there's a couple of the two plastic battery boxes. We've got a Renogy 2000 watt inverter, which we very rarely use. The Victron Smart Solar charge controller, which is the main thing that's used on all the time. And I've also got a B2B or DC to DC charger that comes off the main van battery, which I have actually turned off. I don't think I've only used it about once. The cheap Chinese battery monitor, the screen has died on it. I haven't bothered taking it out. The Chinese diesel heater's still down there and it still works. Even after sitting idle for like 12 months, it took a little bit of time to get it primed, but then it fired up okay. In the front here we still got a Sony stereo system, which has got Apple CarPlay on it. and a GME VHS. My quad lock phone thing's just stuck to the dash there, and that's just a magnetic one. As you can see, everything's pretty grubby. It's just been sitting. I haven't actually done anything. I just jump in it whenever I need it, and it just starts up and just goes. Still got just a bit of storage here. Got our curtain that we just leave tucked up there, just so that we can put that up if we want it. But most places we actually just put this silver windscreen protector that we made. The vent, just open that up, which is just a cheap eBay one, still works. I'll turn the power on. Is that the right one? Yep. So you can see the fans going in one direction, that's blowing air into the van. And not sure whether these lights here. The battery on this is probably flat, I would imagine. Oh, hang on, I've got to turn the ceiling lights on, that's right. That's the 12 volt pump. There's no water in there at the moment, so I'll turn that off. That's for the heater down there, and that's for the DC to DC charger. Yeah, so the lights still work, and you can set them to different brightnesses. I just have an independent switch on those. One thing we've added, I think since when I did the first thing, is this 12 volt TV. I just got it from an op shop. It came with a 240 volt power supply, but I've just wired in a cigarette lighter socket or plug, which I just plug into one of these 12 volt things, and it's also got a built-in DVD player. It's got a USB port, and I can put a hard drive or a USB drive. We've got two of these fans, one there for the kitchen and for Serenity. This is her bed here. It's currently got my mattress on top of it. As you can see, my bed's actually folded up, so I've been using the van to move motorbikes and other bits and pieces, and that's what this area here is for. So both got reading lights and charging cables. That's a set of headphones for the TV, because Serenity likes to watch TV in bed and I sleep. Another one of the skylights, open to skylights with lights. We've got just these locking sort of barrel bolt thingies that are spring loaded. I've got one at the top, one at the bottom, just to give the van more security when we park it. You can still force the side door, but it just means the back door is not as easy to get into. My Iveco fan for my bed, and works like that, and you can move it around virtually anywhere you want it. I don't normally leave it locked into the side position there. My reading light, USB socket and 12 volt socket, which Serenity's got over here. One of the water tanks is another one on the other wheel well, and there's tie down points down there for when I have the bike. The cupboard full of random junk and DVDs and whatnot. Oh, I put a grab handle here for Serenity. The sliding doors seem to work quite well. I painted these cupboards, not sure whether they were painted last time. A carbon monoxide detector, just with a 10-year battery life. The control for the diesel heater, and there's also a remote for that as well. Just a sink arrangement, the microwave, which we hardly ever use, to be honest. Just all our cooking stuff still in here, just quite untidy as usual. And then we have our blankets and spare bedding normally up there. Under here, just again, cooking stuff, water, cat litter. We do have a cat tray, just one of these portable stoves that take the little butane bottles. That's what we use for cooking. Under the bed, we've got our camp chairs and the gazebo thing and a hammock. So everything still works. This is basically what it looks like now. So it's very homemade, obviously. We've had very few problems. One problem we did have was on this rear skylight. I used Sikaflex to seal it, and the roof has ridges in it, and I thought that would be okay, but that started leaking after a couple of years. The front one, I used the butyl tape, the sort of sticky rubber tape, and I just used numerous layers of that, and that's never leaked. So I pulled this one out and I redid it with that same tape stuff when I fixed up the rust up there. And the diesel heater tank, it's been a great van. This picture here, made my parents just after the Second World War in England. My father bought this old car, which was, I don't know what the chassis was, but it had a Ford V8 engine, side valve V8 engine, and they used to call it Ivan the Terrible. Had drum brakes, terrible brakes, not very good steering, and apparently it was quite fast and didn't stop. And this is my mother sitting in the car parked outside one of the houses they lived in. So that was called Ivan the Terrible, and the reason I put it up there is because our van's called Ivan. Just a coincidence really, but we called it Ivan because it's an Iveco van. Yeah, and with the electrical system, it's got two 75 amp hour AGM batteries that were second hand when we bought them back in 2021. They were out of an old fire system, so I think they were fairly good quality batteries, but I don't know how old they are when we got them, but we've had them for what, 3.5, nearly 4 years now, and they're still going well enough for us for running all our power that we need. But we're very light on power. It's only the TV and the lights and the diesel heater really that uses it, and the fridge of course. The fridge does, I can leave it running all the time and it's not a problem. I tend to turn it off these days because it's not being used, and I just turn it off and leave it open. It's got a big strong tow bar on it. It's rated to 3.5 tons, I think. And that's the side of the van there.